Welcome back to UK Cops Behind the Badge. Today, we're diving into an intense street encounter outside London's iconic Corinthia Hotel during a high-security royal event. Two citizens with cameras, a tense misunderstanding, and officers trying to keep order amid heightened alerts. Things get heated fast, but was it a fair police response or overreach? You decide. And shout out to today's featured creator, Reggie Photo, for capturing this real-world encounter. There are links below. Go show them some support after this breakdown. Let's roll the footage.
And then he went and told security.
Hello mate, you alright?
He didn't even speak to me.
I'm allowed to speak to you. I'm allowed to speak to you. Pardon? What are you doing here, that's all?
Let's take pictures.
Legally, photography in public is 100% allowed in the UK, but near high-profile hotels, it raises eyebrows fast. Officers aren't chasing a crime, they're scanning for intent. Watch closely. This is where calm questioning turns into confrontation, all through body language.
I don't know what you're doing there. Why are you here?
I'll come speak to you.
No, why are you here?
Huh? For the King's coronation.
Yeah, but what are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing? Working.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you, there's no need to be rude.
I'm not being rude.
You were being rude. I come over here, the first thing you said to me was, don't you even dare.
London people are strange, aren't
You said, don't you even dare. That's the first thing you said to me.
Exactly.
Did you not call him an arsehole?
Did
Did you not call him an arsehole?
Pardon?
Did you call him an arsehole?
I didn't, no.
It sounded like that.
Oh, but my camera's on.
Oh, sorry, if you didn't.
The officer tries to engage calm tone, open stance, but the citizen comes in defensive. This right here is a classic breakdown in communication. The first 5 seconds of dialogue often decide whether an encounter stays peaceful or escalates. Watch the tone carefully. Both sides are testing control of the moment.
Okay.
And you haven't even told me yet.
I don't need to tell you.
Yes, you did.
No, I don't.
Yes, you did.
You did.
5.1, 5.5.
You know, we know.
Look, I'm trying to come out here and have a conversation
to help
with
me,
you.
have you?
No, I'm trying to have a conversation with you.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
and because it's been raised to us that you're out here taking photos of people threatening to go to the toilet on the wall they put up, things like that. It will be, yeah. If you go to the toilet on it, yeah.
Threatening
If I shoot him in the head, that'll be a crime as well, wouldn't
Yeah, it
it?
will, yeah.
Well, I've not done it.
Okay, but you're still threatening it, aren't you? So
What, threatening to have a pee against the wall?
part of our job is prevention of crime, isn't it?
damage.
Threats of criminal damage?
Part of our job is prevention of crime, isn't it?
What? Criminal damage being on a wall?
Yeah.
Peeing on a wall is criminal damage.
Is it, heck?
You're
Serious?
Definitely not. Yeah.
It's not criminal damage.
You're tarnishing us all with the same.
Is it not a public order offence? Not criminal damage. Surely? Seriously? I didn't know that.
Notice how the officer references complaints of taking photos of people threatening to go to the toilet on walls. It sounds absurd, but from a procedural angle, any reported disorderly conduct requires a welfare and intent check. The officers aren't just reacting, they're documenting. Whether that complaint is accurate or not, once it's logged, they have to follow through.
Why are you being so angry?
How many of them have been raping and murdering and all sorts of things,
Okay.
yeah? Lately.
Okay.
How many? You're not interested now?
I'm trying to have a conversation with you. That's got nothing to do with what we're here talking to.
Okay. The Met Police.
Okay. Continue swearing, sir. You'll be committing a public order offence.
No,
Alright?
You need to remember.
Pull that one, boy.
Who's going to make the argument?
You go and learn some law before you come dictating to me, okay?
Okay. I've been through training school, my friend.
Yeah, but it's
I know
You've
what's
been
going on.
through the wrong training school, boy.
The Met Police training school.
Notice the phrase, "I've been through training school." That's ego versus authority, clashing head. Officers are trained to keep composure, but their human repeated challenges to their role can hit pride. This is why verbal judo exists, keeping calm under verbal attack. Would you have handled this exchange differently if you were the officer here?
Why are you being
butting in?
Why are you being
He's
so?
talking to me.
Why are you being quite aggressive?
No, you're not being aggressive. We're just being because we.
Sorry, mate.
We're
He's
just having
being
a conversation.
aggressive.
No, he
I'm
isn't.
trying to have a
He's
conversation.
not being aggressive, sir.
To you.
Reacting to me. How?
I'm reacting to
how
your
have I
behaviour.
provoked you in any way to
I've
speak like this?
reacted to their behaviour.
How have I provoked you in any way to speak to us like this?
They're treating us like criminals on a public street.
If
We've been asked to come out here, you were taking photos of them and buildings and all that sort of stuff, and they asked you why, and then it's all erupted.
I don't know. If you
They've just
approach
asked
me
us
and
to
we're
come out
concerned
and
about
ask you
someone,
Yeah.
what's going on,
Would you
why are you taking photos of them, that sort of
you
stuff.
threatened
Okay,
to
they've
go
asked
to
you to move on, you threatened to piss up walls.
I haven't.
threatening criminal damage, isn't it?
I don't know. I didn't hear that conversation.
Alright, but that's why we're out here, just having a conversation.
Yeah.
We're not trying to cause any arguments or anything like that. We're just asking what's going
Why
on.
is it not?
That's it.
Why?
Now, listen closely here. The cameraman feels cornered, claiming the officers are treating us like criminals. This is where police training really matters. The escalation doesn't just mean backing off. It means maintaining authority without inflaming emotion. The officer's patience is tested, but notice how he keeps using sir and invites conversation. That's procedural gold when done right.
That sort of stuff, and they asked you why, and then it's all erupted.
I don't know. If you
They've just
approach
asked
me
us to
and
come
we're
out and
concerned
ask
about
you what's going on,
to-
why are you taking photos of them, that sort of
Okay,
stuff.
you've
Okay, they've
threatened
asked you to
to
move on, and you threatened to piss up walls.
I haven't.
That's criminal damage, isn't it?
I don't know. I didn't hear that conversation.
Right, but that's why we're out here, just having a conversation.
Yeah.
We're not trying to cause any arguments or anything like that. We're just asking what's going
Why
on.
is it not?
That's it.
Why is it not?
Because you
Well,
still here.
like I say, there's not. End of the day, I don't know what the problem is.
Members going in and out of this hotel. I'm
No.
not stopping it. It's not bollocks. So,
How long was I stood down there?
I don't know.
Right.
They've raised the concern that you're stood down there trying to take photos of members of the public and, you know, calling harassment alarm
Trying to
distress
take
people.
members.
What? What for photos in the public?
That's what they've said to us.
Yeah, but you know that you should have put them right on that.
Which is part of the reason we're here trying to talk to you.
Yeah, but you should have put them right on that. I'm not being aggressive with you, sir.
Okay, well,
Right, so you come with me then, and you go tell them. that
you're not going anywhere
A
close
member
to
of the public is allowed to be on this road, and a member of the public.
okay, this is a sterile area that they're trying to keep
A
sterile.
member of the public is allowed to take photographs on this road.
They're trying to keep this area sterile. Okay, yes they are. They've
So why
explained
didn't they
it to us.
approach me when I posted the road?
They have approached you.
Well, 15 minutes later.
The public often forgets. Filming in public is 100% legal in the UK. But context changes everything. Near high-security zones, officers have the legal power to engage under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act if they suspect reconnaissance. Still, suspicion isn't proof, and this exchange highlights the delicate balance between civil liberty and preventive policing.
Because you weren't moving on.
I've been
Because you weren't moving on. People are
You're
allowed
being
to
rude
walk.
now. You're being rude.
People are allowed to walk
Let
through.
me speak.
People are allowed to walk through.
Good.
Where are you going? Okay, but I'm asking you to move on. Pardon? It's a sterile area. It is. They've asked me. They're keeping this path free for
Are you
people
his
walking
superior?
around.
Well, why are you standing allowing him to tell lies?
Oh, we've
It's not
been
lying though, is it? If he was lying, I'd step in.
No, but it's a public footpath. We haven't brought barriers or anything like that.
Just shut up
Yeah.
and listen for
Don't
1
be rude.
minute.
Don't be rude.
You're
Right
being
here,
rude.
obviously where the King's coronation parade and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Obviously we've got concerns about people trying to interrupt the coronation.
No, well, we're not here to do
All
that. I
stuff.
promise you that,
Okay,
miss. Yeah,
alright,
we're here
but-
just to take photos and videos, right?
Exactly.
So basically, where you put the green fences, you don't want us beyond that. I get that, yeah.
And these guys don't want you taking photos of them. This is a high-profile hotel, a high-profile personnel have been staying in.
Yeah,
They're trying to keep this as sterile as possible because there's high-profile people staying in this hotel.
No, miss. What I'm saying is, like,
So they
Well,
don't
not
want
according
you
to them.
here,
I've been stood talking to the guys on the
here
step for
taking
15
photos
minutes.
and being argumentative
Having a
with them.
good
That's all they're
laugh.
asking,
Right.
that you move away from this area. That's
Listen,
it.
you've done
And here's the turning point. Officers reveal there are high-profile personnel inside the Corinthia, instantly reframing this as more than casual filming. What seemed like harmless photography now looks like potential surveillance in their eyes. The cameraman pushes back calmly, asserting his legal right to record in public, and honestly, he's right. This moment captures the clash between authority and civil liberty in real time. Do you think the officers overreacted here, or were they just doing their duty in a sensitive zone? Let me know your take in the comments.
all I'm saying is, like, end of the day, wherever I went with my camera and filming, yeah, with this, basically, there was no complaint that I was taking pictures of anybody. But basically, what the police should do in that instance is say, look, he's in a public space. There's no law against taking photography in a public space against any individual. We can be recorded like we are. I'm being recorded as we speak off numerous cameras, and I'm not complaining against that. So I would expect police in that instance just to say, look, he's not. If he ain't committing no crimes, just leave him be.
But they've asked us to come and have a chat because he's been asked to move away and he's become agitated and aggressive and whatnot. I wasn't there, so I haven't witnessed it. Do you know what I mean? That's what we've been told.
I didn't witness that, but I would be agitated if I would be asked to move from a public space.
Here and allow someone to be
Do
shouted.
you get what I'm saying?
It's a high-profile hotel. If you stood here taking photos of him, all they've asked him was, "Why are you taking photos of all here?"
Yeah.
And he's acting like this. That raises our suspicion that he's trying to do something.
Yeah,
untoward.
because you know the amount of times we've been approached this morning taking pictures, security personnel, and it's like we're getting sick of it, miss.
Yeah, and I can appreciate that because you
Yeah.
are entitled to. But if they've asked you not to,
Yeah.
and you carry on, they've asked you not to. You know, if I kept taking photos of you while you're at work.
No, but that weren't the argument. So basically, right, he was taking pictures. This is what he told me of the building, and they asked him not to do that. So therefore, they have no right to tell him to stop taking pictures at the building, right? So if the police come over, I expect you to perhaps just say, well, look, just you carry on with your day. He can take pictures of the building.
All we've done, as soon as he come out, he said, tried to have a chat with him, he's gone, don't you fucking dare, or whatever he said, don't you dare, I didn't hear it, right? And it was a bit acted like this. That raises our suspicion that he's up to something untoward. Yeah, I hope you can appreciate
No, not
that,
untoward. I'll explain for him. He's angry because basically we're sick of getting challenged. We've only been out for an hour and a half, and everybody keeps telling us.
I'm not being funny, sir. During a high-profile incident like this, a high-profile thing where there's a lot of members of other states around, members of other states, you can appreciate if you're taking lots of photos of security and all that sort of stuff, it's going to raise our suspicions that you're trying to do something. I'm not saying you are.
So you've had a talk.
You're stood here taking photos of here. What benefit have you got of taking a photo of this?
The officer now plays mediator. He's been asked to move away, became agitated. It's the standard police narrative in low-level confrontations. Establish cause, lower temperature, and document behavior. But pay attention to tone again. Neither side's shouting now. That's the turningpoint.com communication starts rebuilding trust.
Because I'll answer that, although I don't have to.
Yeah.
I will answer it for you. I'm a visitor to London, so therefore I want to get as much footage of the whole event as I can, right? For no ill intent purposes. So, you know, I'm just explaining on a lighter note to you that I'm not here to cause you problems. What I do want my rights to be upheld is to do that in a publicly accessible place.
But you are going to get challenged. On a day like today, you are going to get challenged as to what you're doing and why.
But could you not circulate it? Can you not?
No.
Oh, that's the thing. So
every post you go to, you're going to be facing security. They're going to ask you.
I can guarantee you one thing: we will definitely not breach any fences or try and do anything like that. You know what I mean?
We don't know that. Do we?
I'm telling you.
Until you come up to us and have a conversation like we are, we don't know that, do we?
Yeah. Well, that's my word. I'm here just to film.
But if you're stood here just taking a photo of them,
they've
got the right to challenge you as to what's going on.
They can ask it all they want. Yeah, I get that.
Exactly. And you can say, I'm going to take photos in a private place. If they ask you to move on, take it that they're asking you to move on for a reason. You know, they're trying to keep this area as sterile as possible. At the end of the day, half a mile in that direction, or where those buildings are, is where the new king is going to be going to cross,
and that's why you've set your barriers. That's why you've set your barriers here, and you don't want us going beyond the barriers.
So you can record, you can take photos in a public place. There's no problem. Alright? But if they ask you to move on, then I suggest that you just move on quietly. There's no benefit of taking a photo of here.
No, you don't know that though, miss.
But if you've taken a photo of here, you've taken some recording, nothing's going to change. I mean, it's going to stay like this now for
no, but that's what I'm saying. I've got my footage now, and we're only having a talk due to a conversation that you've come over. So basically, I'm happy that I've already got my footage of here. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I would also like the personnel to know that if we wanted to stay on the street that's open to public, we can do it also, you know. Even though I'm finished, it'd be good for the security personnel to know that as long as we're not trying to breach anything or get in anybody's way.
But you can understand why they're very heightened.
I understand, and that's the reason why I've gone the extra mile to try and speak to you and say, look,
I appreciate that.
I'm not here to cause you any hostility. I'm not here to cause you any security breaches or anything like that. And I'm literally here with cameras.
No,
you know.
Fine. And I appreciate that. Just obviously, we've obviously been asked to do a job to protect everyone here today. Okay?
Yeah, I totally get that. And that's why I'll talk to you. And at the end of the day, I'm not here to cause any issues.
Perfect.
You'll see me all about London because I'm trying to get as much footage.
Where are you from then, if you're not from around here?
We're from up north. Okay. But basically, we think this is quite bizarre. You know, like how, you know, just because of a select few that people have to be restricted like this. And I understand the king's been coronated and stuff, but it's just crazy. How security are just coming, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, and it's like, why? We're not even doing anything. We're not doing any harm.
We're deep into dialogue now, and the tension's finally deflating. The cameraman even acknowledges the officer's professionalism, but then that brilliant line, it's crazy how security tells us we can't do this or that. That's the everyday frustration civilians feel. It's the moment of empathy that makes this footage resonate, both sides acting out their roles in a system of mutual suspicion.
I think when in regards to the Wee situation, he has to go to the toilet, and they looked him up and down and went, definitely not. They sort of disrespected him by looking him up and down as if to say, you're not good enough to come in here, right? So that's got his back up. So
I can kind of appreciate that, but at the same time,
do you know what I mean?
They've got a job to do. Obviously, they don't work for us, we don't work for them.
Yeah.
I don't know what they've been told and what they haven't been told.
No. But can you imagine this, right? So I don't know your annual salary, right? Can you imagine out of your civvies, right? You go to somewhere and they're all swanky top of the range hotels, and you ask for something in a need of like emergency, like a wee or something, and they look you up and down just because it's a day like this, right? Can you imagine how disrespectful you?
I can appreciate that.
And that's all it was. That's why he's got his back up, and he made the joke in regards to saying, okay, I'll pee up against the wall. He has no intentions of doing that. Like.
No, but that does constitute a criminal offence. Threats to cause damage is a criminal offence.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that's a new one to me. I didn't think that the saying that
The toilet incident. It sounds trivial, but it's what kicked this whole encounter off. Denied use, looked up and down, and disrespected. That's what sparked emotional escalation. It's a reminder. Dignity plays a massive role in de-escalation. Sometimes, preventing conflict isn't about law, it's about respect.
Right? Can you imagine out of your civvies, right? You go to somewhere and they're all swanky top of the range hotels, and you ask for something in a need of like emergency, like a wee or something, and they look you up and down just because it's a day like this, right? Can you imagine how disrespectful you?
I can appreciate that.
And that's all it was. That's why he's got his back up, and he made the joke in regards to saying, okay, I'll pee up against the wall. He has no intentions of doing that. Like.
No, but that does constitute a criminal offence. Threats to cause damage is a criminal offence.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that's a new one to me. I didn't think that the saying that I'm going to have a wee against the wall, I didn't think that could be criminal damage.
Yeah, so it's temporary or permanent damage. So temporary damage, because someone's got to come out and clean it all down, would constitute criminal damage.
Does it?
Even if you get chalk and draw on the pavement in chalk, criminal damage.
Yeah, that's a new one. I didn't know that. I was always on the understanding it comes under a different law, you know, like exposing yourself in public space or whatever, you know.
Potentially, but essentially it's criminal damage.
But it wasn't in.
But his sort of attitude and demeanour. If this is what he's been like to security, I can understand why they would have got their back up a bit. I'm not saying that he did with them, but I can understand why they got their back up a bit and why they're a bit more heightened as to let him through and all that sort of stuff.
No, he didn't want to go through.
But I can understand why if he's acting like this. Yourself, you've been very calm and we've had a chat, but obviously he's been shouting at my colleague there and stuff. You know what I mean? And when you're compliant with us and you talk to us, we're more than happy to have a chat with you and help you out. If you start screaming and shouting at us in the street like he's been doing my colleague, what do you expect us to do?
No, I know, but I've told you the reason why he's got his back up. You know.
I get it.
Now this is textbook communication recovery. The officer admits he understands the frustration, clarifies what could legally be criminal damage, and keeps his tone neutral. That's a solid example of how professionalism can save a situation teetering on hostility. Notice how the whole vibe shifts from argument to understanding. By now, everyone's cooled off. Both sides recognize the absurdity of the moment. Cameras, barriers, and rainy London chaos. The officers even joke lightly, and the filmer starts to laugh it off. This right here is what resolution looks like in the real world. Not perfect, but peaceful.
End of the day, he's seen the uniform of everything that he's heard about the Met, and you know, he's probably thinking, why are you coming to me? Like, you know, I just after just a chat with them, like, you know, I'm only going off what he's told me.
Sure.
So he just felt disrespected how they talked to him. But anyway, miss, like I say, I'm finished with mine.
That's right.
But it'd be good for him to know that, you know, as long as we're not trying to breach any barriers, that we're okay, as long as we're not blocking or causing a nuisance or anything like that. You know,
I think they're a bit more heightened here just because of this hotel, because it's where a lot of high-profile
dignitaries and stuff like that. Yeah, I get that, because they can see the registrations. You can tell they're not.
I think that's why they're a little bit more heightened here. Some of the other roads they might be less so. They might be alright.
Yeah.
You're still going to get challenged. Don't get me wrong. You're still going to get.
I know. Well, that's what. So we're probably going to have these conversations throughout the day now. But it's crazy. It's the world we're living in. Like a camera. Or the mere of a questioner, can I use your toilet? I can understand them probably not letting him into the toilet because of who's in and out, but there's no need to look him up and down and go, probably not, like, you know. As you can tell, we're not suited and booted, you know what I mean? But anyway, miss, I'm going to...
No worries, have a good day. Hopefully it stops raining so you get some better footage.
Well, yeah, regardless, you can keep clearing the lens anyway.
Okay, alright. Well then have a good day.
Sorry for we got off on the wrong foot.
Did, massively.
You know, We had a good conversation, miss. You know.
Just, you are going to get challenged.
And we already have been.
Yeah, you're going to get challenged.
You've got
What I
to
don't
understand
expect from
that
is jump
today's a
top
massive
security.
day, massive
Trying to tell
threat
me to
levels
move.
to us.
Yeah.
When the officer says, "Sorry, we got off on the wrong foot," it's the closure we rarely see. No arrest, no shouting, just two humans regaining mutual respect. That's how modern policing should look. Clear communication, context explained, and both parties leaving with understanding, not anger.
We already have been.
Yeah, you're going to get challenged.
You've got
What I
to
don't
understand
expect from
that
is jump
today's
top
a massive
security.
day, massive
Trying to tell
threat
me to
levels
move
to us.
off
Yeah.
a public street.
So
When I've
anyone
done
that's hanging
nothing wrong,
around
that's
acting
all.
maybe in the tiniest way
Just
suspicious,
take your
Yeah.
agenda, you're probably going to get
Nearby
challenged
events
here and
today,
there.
Yeah.
You
we're
probably
going to
are
come
going to
over
get
and
asked to
engage.
move
Yeah.
on. Okay?
But all we're asking for is that our law, that the laws that prevent that let us do certain activities don't get suppressed, because we can understand, you know, we're not protesters, we're not here to cause any anarchy, we're not here to cause any issues for you.
But at the same time, you have to appreciate there's a lot of protesters around. You know, people have already been arrested today for protesting and that sort of stuff because they've been trying to get onto the road to try and block the thing. So everything.
Anti-royal protesters.
No, but this is where your time would be better spent on like people like, you know, who are actually, you know what I mean?
That. But if you're not raising concerns to these people, we have no reason to come over.
Yeah, but it was the initial with, you know, the toilet looking him up and down. If they hadn't have done that, like, you know, it probably wouldn't have got to that conversation with him.
Well, we'll leave you to it.
Alright, guys.
Obviously, please move on from the area.
Yeah, we got our footage. We was going anyway, you know.
Alright, I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
Back inside there where I'm supposed to be posted.
To do a proper job.
Where I'm supposed to be posted.
Right, see you later.
See you later.
Take care.
Take care, guys.
So, what did we learn here? A simple misunderstanding in a high-security area can spiral fast, but composure, patience, and clarity can turn confrontation into cooperation. The officers held the line without escalating, and the filmer asserted his rights without aggression, a rare win-win in public encounters. What do you think? Did both sides handle it fairly? Drop your thoughts below, and if you found this breakdown as intense as we did, hit that like button, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more real-life body cam breakdowns. Until next time, stay aware, stay smart, and stay safe.